Alright, so before you even think about pre-ordering, let's slow things down for a second. Because Resident Evil Requiem might look like another sequel writing the franchise name, but this one is doing some very deliberate, very risky things that you absolutely should understand before you spend your money. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, you just walked into the right video. Today we are breaking down 15 crucial things you should know before buying Resident Evil Requiem, covering gameplay systems, characters, technical performance, and a few surprises that Capcom is not exactly shouting from the rooftops. Dual protagonists are not a gimmick this time. If you think you were switching characters for variety, let me tell you, there's more to it. You are actively juggling two different survival philosophies. Leon Kennedy and Grace Ashcroft are designed as opposites. Leon is confident, aggressive, and built for confrontation. Grace is cautious, fragile, and constantly outmatched. The game forces you to alternate between them, and your actions with one character can directly affect the other. Leave enemies alive as Leon, Grace might run into them later. Waste supplies early, you might regret it hours down the line. This is not separate campaigns stitched together. It is one interlocked experience. Leon is pure action, but not brainless action. Leon's gameplay is heavily inspired by Resident Evil 4 Remake, but with restraint. He is faster, stronger, and better equipped, yet the game still limits your resources enough to prevent power fantasy burnout. Instead of a knife, Leon uses a combat hatchet. It has a sharpness meter that degrades over time. You can restore it, but you cannot replace it. That means reckless melee play will punish you later. Leon feels experienced, yet not invincible. And that distinction matters. Grace is built around fear and decision-making. Grace Ashcroft plays closer to classic survival horror. Think Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 7, but slower and more deliberate. She has limited inventory space, fewer combat options, and enemies that you are actively encouraged to avoid. Stealth is not optional here. It is survival. Every hallway is a gamble. Every encounter is a question. Do you sneak past, or do you fight and risk losing resources you desperately need later? Grace's performance is carrying the horror. Grace is voiced by Jeannie Tirado, and this casting choice is already paying off. Her performance leans heavily into vulnerability. Her breathing cracks. Her voice trembles. When Grace is scared, you feel it. And when she finds resolve, it feels earned. This is not a stoic action hero. This is someone in over her head. And that emotional grounding makes the horror land harder. The camera system is more flexible than it looks. Yes, you can switch between first-person and third-person perspectives, but this is not a cosmetic toggle. Certain sections feel clearly designed for specific viewpoints. Leon benefits from third-person awareness during combat. Grace's sections become significantly more intense in first-person, especially during stealth and stalking encounters. You are free to experiment, but the game subtly nudges you toward what works best for each character. The inventory system is deliberately uneven. Leon gets a 7x10 attaché case. You can organize it, optimize it, and plan your loadout like a professional. Grace gets 8 slots. That's it. No grid, no clever rearranging, just brutal limitation. This brings back stash runs, backtracking, and painful decisions about what to carry and what to leave behind. If you enjoy inventory tension, Grace's sections will feel incredible. If you don't, they will absolutely stress you out. Blood is a resource, not just a visual. Grace introduces a blood synthesis system. You can extract blood from infected enemies and use it to craft injections with powerful effects. But blood takes up inventory space. It forces you to weigh risk versus reward constantly. Do you sneak past an enemy safely, or do you engage, risk damage, and gain crafting materials that might save you later? The system turns combat into a strategic decision rather than a reflex. The Requiem weapon is not a safety net. Grace has access to a special hand cannon called Requiem. It is devastating. It is also extremely limited. Ammunition is scarce. You cannot rely on it. This is a last resort weapon designed to get you out of situations where everything has already gone wrong. Use it carelessly and you will regret it. Stalker enemies are back, and they are smarter. Requiem features relentless stalkers that cannot be killed conventionally. These enemies follow rules. Learn them or suffer. They respond to sound, light, and movement patterns. You are not meant to fight them. You are meant to outthink them. This design leans heavily into tension rather than jump scares, and it works. Lighting is a core mechanic, not just a visual feature. The RE engine is doing some of its best work here. Light sources act as temporary safe zones. Darkness hides enemies, but also protects you if you know how to use it. Shadows matter. This creates moments where you deliberately turn lights off, even though every instinct tells you not to. Puzzles are complex and central to progression. This is not filler puzzle design. The environments are large, interconnected, and filled with multi-step puzzles. Antique coins return and are used for upgrades, encouraging exploration. Some areas can only be accessed by Leon. Others are designed around Grace's smaller size and stealth. Backtracking feels purposeful, not padded. Boss fights are character-specific. Boss encounters are not universal. How you approach a boss depends on who you are playing. Victor Gideon, for example, is not just a damage sponge. His mechanics force different solutions depending on your character's abilities and limitations. These fights feel designed, not recycled. Leon's story is not just fan service. Leon is dealing with what the director refers to as the Umbrella Curse. Survivors of the original outbreak are still suffering consequences decades later. There is a visible mark on Leon's neck. Its implications are not fully explained yet, but it ties directly into why he is here. This is not nostalgia bait, it is continuation. Performance modes actually matter. On PS5 Pro, the game runs at 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing enabled. You can push up to 120 FPS with ray tracing disabled, averaging around 90 FPS. PC requirements are reasonable for a modern RE engine title, but you will want solid hardware to experience this at its best. This is not a compromised release. This is not Resident Evil 6 all over again. Capcom is very aware of the fear surrounding split narratives. Requiem is not trying to juggle 4 campaigns or dilute its identity. The inspiration leans heavily toward Resident Evil 2. Tight, focused, horror-driven design with action layered on top, not the other way around. This feels like a deliberate course correction. Bonus: your choices actually echo hours later. This is something Capcom has been very quiet about, but it might end up being one of Requiem's most impressive features. Decisions you make are not short-term consequences. They echo across chapters. If Leon clears an area aggressively, Grace might later find fewer enemies, but also fewer resources to harvest. If Leon bypasses threats to conserve ammo, Grace may be forced into tense stealth scenarios with stalkers already roaming the area. Even doors unlocked, shortcuts opened, or supplies left behind can change how the next character's section plays out. This creates a constant sense of accountability. You are not just surviving the current moment, you are shaping the difficulty curve for your future self. If you enjoy games that remember what you did and hold you to it, this system is going to live rent-free in your head. And that's all for today. The 15 things you absolutely needed to know before buying Resident Evil Requiem. Now I want to hear from you. Are you excited about the dual protagonist system, or are you cautious? Which character are you more interested in playing? Leon or Grace? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with someone who still thinks Resident Evil is just about shooting zombies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.